Hey everybody, welcome to this week's video of
Party with the Versa!
Woohoo! There was a little bit of a delay, sorry about that. We're trying to get Jackie into the whole rhythm so she won't be delayed. Anyway, okay. Today we're going to talk about something that everybody knows about, everybody likes, everybody wants more of. We're going to talk about couples on TV that are couples.
Okay, so let me set this up for you. Seth and I were playing a game the other day, and I was reading this thing on Facebook, and it was talking about how Scott Patterson
For the
is
guys of you who
making-
don't
hold
know,
on.
that is... I was going to tell them who he
No.
is. Okay.
He's making a coffee brand from his character on Gilmore Girls, Luke.
Luke Danes.
He had the best coffee on that show. And anyway, he's going to be making a coffee brand about that. And then I'm so excited. Anyway, so that made us start thinking about who are the best couples on TV shows, which is how we're going to talk about this today. So what we're going to do, we each made up our own list, and we're going to share them with you.
Jackie's going first.
Yeah, I'm going to go first. So I had to write them down so I don't forget. Because sometimes I've forgotten in the past. Okay. So my number 3, we have 3, 2, 1, and an honorable mention.
No, it's 3, 2, honorable mention 1.
I
Because
understand.
you don't want to do the honorable mention before number 1 because then we'll take away the special ones in number 1.
Number 3. From a TV show that
What?
I think is still in the air, maybe just recently went off the air, I'm not really sure. Booth and Brennan from Bones.
That just went off the air.
Okay. From Bones. So, on that show,
Such a good show!
people wanted them to be together for so long, and they finally got together, and spoiler, they got married, and they had children. It was so sweet.
They got together in the 7th season, got married in the 9th season, but they had her baby before they got married, so, you know.
So it was like the 8th season.
I think so, yeah.
It was so sweet, and they've always been there for each other, so it was so beautiful. It was like a dream come true because all the people who watched that show wanted them to be together for so long, and then they finally did.
It made me mad because they were together, but then, Booth proposed to her, but then because of that one serial killer who was, holding something over Booth, he said, if you do not end your engagement to Brendan, then I'll kill, all these random people. And because Booth is such a stand-up guy, he's not going to let a bunch of random people get killed, so he had to break off the engagement and not even tell her why. And that hurt her so bad, and it hurt me because I wanted them to be together so freaking bad, and then they finally killed that guy, and I was so happy because then they could get married.
I thought this was my list.
I'm just saying, I wanted to throw that in there, sorry.
Anyway, my number,
I'll probably have something to say about all yours if I know about it.
my number 2, this is really, really, really hard for me to make number 2 instead of number 1.
I already know who it is.
Luke and Lorelai.
Yep.
It was really hard. I wanted to make them number 1, but I couldn't bring myself to it. But of course, they're the reason that we started talking about this. Well, Scott Patterson was. They had to be on the list. They were so perfect for each other. And what I was realizing, so I started 2 nights ago, I started rewatching the show again because it's so awesome. And I realized something. So fans of the show know that later seasons, they get engaged.
Because Lorelai proposed.
Lorelai proposes. However, season 1, episode 6, Lorelai walks into Luke's diner, and she was just talking to him and talking to blah blah blah, and he was trying to get her to stop, and he was like, will you marry me? And she's like, what? He's like, I had to get you to say something to stop. So he actually proposed to her years earlier. Just saying. But anyway, their romance, it was just so beautiful and sad, and you cried and you laughed.
And Lorelai was such a jerk sometimes.
Yes.
She was with all these different guys and not with Luke, and that was just ridiculous.
And Luke waited patiently for her, and then we all hated when he was with that one
I was about
chick.
to say, he didn't wait too patiently. He was with
Whatever her name
Nicole.
was, I hated her.
He was
I
married
did
to
not like
Nicole.
her at
What
all.
the freak?
She was terrible. We did not like her. I was like, you need to get divorced from her, and you need to be with Lorelai forever.
And that's what happened.
And then they finally got together, and I was so happy. Anyway,
That's
my
right.
honorable mention. I wanted them to be mentioned, but they're not as good as Luke and Lorelai, and they're definitely not as good as number 1, who I almost just said and ruined it. Jesse and Becky from Full House. I thought they were so sweet.
Have mercy.
If you guys remember that show, Jesse was, a little bit of a player. And
He was not a player. He just he was a little bit of a
heartthrob.
man whore.
He was a heartthrob. All the ladies loved him. He loved all the ladies. And anyway, then Becky came along, and it was like totally different for him than any other relationship that he had had. Not to sound cliche, but I mean, it was, the 90s.
But
so
she didn't believe that at first.
Right.
She thought he was just like, she's like, well, what's the longest relationship you ever had? And he couldn't really answer that, and so she didn't want to be with him. So I'm not trying to like steal all your stuff, but I'm just saying.
But it was so sweet. I loved seeing them together, and then they had kids.
Yeah, too.
It was so sweet. It was really a nice thing to see when we were growing up. But my number one.
Oh, and by the way, on Fuller House, they were just as awesome.
They were. Well, I didn't really like this show, but
you
they were on there.
Watch it.
I saw a couple episodes. But anyway, my number one, like, I
still don't know why this is your number one. I know who it's going to be.
I almost had to make Luke and Lorelai number one, but I had to make this couple number one because they're so beautiful. And from Boy Meets World.
And the spinoff Girl Meets World.
No.
Yeah.
Corey and Topanga.
They're from Girl Meets World too,
I know, but I don't care about that show. They, guys, like, they are so cute. We saw them when they were in, like, so tiny to adulthood, and they were together off and on throughout the whole thing, and even when they weren't together, they were, like, friends most of the time, or sometimes they didn't like each other, and then they went back and forth and back and forth.
And, I wonder who can relate to that.
Us. It's so sweet. And, anyway, that show, I really think, like, if I would have watched Gilmore Girls around the same time that I would have watched that, then I may have put, like, Luke and Lorelai more ahead, but, like, I really didn't watch.
You couldn't really watch it at the same time
like,
because,
So, Corey and
Weird
Topanga,
thing is,
I've been invested in them for much longer, so I had to put them as number one. And I'm so happy that they, like, ended up together because they have such a beautiful thing, and they have so many beautiful quotes. We actually have one in our house framed. It's so cute. Okay, so to your list.
Okay, anyway, but I was going to say something about your list before we were late.
Okay, hurry.
The interesting thing is, Boy Meets World lasted from 93 to 2000, so it was 7 years. And then Gilmore Girls started in 2000 and went to 2007, so it was another 7 years. So it was like 93 to 2007. You had these two awesome couples who knew they were supposed to be together, but didn't want to be together all the time. And they knew they were supposed to be together, and they finally ended up together.
Two awesome couples.
Thank you. Yeah. Corey
From 97 to 93 to 2007.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you. So, my list. Here we go. Number 3. Who did I say was number 3? Okay, I got it.
I'm ready to jump.
I got it. Okay, let me look just to be safe, because I don't want to say these wrong. Okay, number 3. This show lasted for 10 years. And this couple was like, they were together for not even a whole lot of that show. They were together a whole year. And then they got together for a brief time, but broke up. Anyway, Ross and Rachel. Ross Geller, Rachel Green. They did have a child together, but they did not. They ended up together in the very end, but for so long, they were just like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, yeah. They were on a break. Anyway, but Friends is one of my favorite shows, and Ross and Rachel is one of my favorite couples.
I really thought he was going to have them as his number one, so this surprised me.
I do like Chandler and Monica, because they were actually together from season 4 all the way to 10. But Ross and Rachel, it's just like everybody liked Ross and Rachel. And everybody liked Friends. So, okay. My number 2 is from a little show called Once Upon a Time. A lot of people may not watch it, but I do. Anyway, it's Hook and Emma. Hook and Emma started out hating each other because Hook was this horrible... I mean, everybody knows the story of Captain Hook. He's a pirate. He's whatever. Anyway, but they eventually fall in love. They get married in season 6. Spoiler alert. Sorry for anybody who was watching. But anyway, they're just such a good couple because they've been through so much together.
Let's just say spoiler before.
I don't care. Anyway, if you haven't watched the show, like, watch it. It's pretty good. They go through so much to end up together. But anyway, they're my number 2. My honorable mention is also from Once Upon a Time. It's Belle and Mr. Gold, or Rumpelstiltskin. But they've been through so much. And they still show that true love can conquer almost anything, even, like, horribleness, which is what he is. But, you know, whatever. True love still conquers. But my number 1 is from one of my favorite shows of all time, Roseanne. Dan and Roseanne Connor. They were together. They were high school sweethearts.
Oh, you cannot spoil the ending because no one's ever seen it.
I'm spoiling the ending. I'm sorry. Anyway, they're high school sweethearts. They were together for 20-something years, I believe. They had 4 kids, my bad. They had a 4th kid when the show was on. Anyway, the whole show, like, they're together for 8 seasons. And then at the end of the 8th season, Darlene gets married and Dan has a heart attack. And you're like, oh my gosh. Because he's this big guy and, you know, they don't eat right. Like, they're always eating horrible. because they're like a typical family. Like, you know, families on TV back then were like supposed to be perfect, but then Roseanne came out and it made this normal family who had real problems and everything. Don't do that. I'm gonna talk.
What?
I thought you hit me on purpose. Okay, she didn't. My bad. Anyway, all through 8 seasons they were together, and then at Darlene's wedding he had a heart attack. And you're like, oh no, what if he dies? Like, what if he dies? He ends up surviving, and then like I said, he had a heart attack. They win the lottery, and the whole 9th season is just like them living this extravagant lifestyle. But then it gets to the very last episode. They're all sitting around the table eating dinner, and then she's talking about how she's actually been writing a story the whole time, and this whole show was a story that she was writing. And here come the tears, because she looks at Dan's seat and he's not there anymore. And you're like, what happened? He was just there. And then she talks about how he actually died during the heart attack, and how he has not been there at all this whole year. And if you watch the 9th season, after he gets all this money, he ends up like cheating on Roseanne and all this stuff. And she said that he didn't actually do that, that she was so hurt that he left her because he died, that it felt like he cheated on her. And it was just so sad. And I'm going on a tangent here, but you guys, they're my #1 couple, because they really truly loved each other. And to see the fact that him dying hurt her so bad that it was like he actually cheated on her, it shows their real love. And they're real people. They're not like fairy tale
not
characters.
really. They're
Her
actors.
real name is Roseanne.
I just cannot believe that Seth did not have Corey Spring on his
Plus,
list.
Roseanne is coming back for a reboot in 2018.
Which doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
It makes sense.
It
All
doesn't.
they can have all the characters except him.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video, and
You gotta tell them to comment. If you have favorite TV couples, please drop a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every single Monday. And also, if you want to put a comment about what you think our next video should be on, please do, because we will like it. If we like it, we'll use it. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends on all your social media accounts. Don't forget to do that. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
bye.